Welcome to Fire Engineering's Training Minutes. Thanks to our sponsor, Globe Turnout Gear. I'm Nick Martin, and today we're going to talk about a systematic matter for packaging and assessing a downed firefighter. Locating a downed firefighter during a RIT deployment will be one of the most challenging maneuvers of your career, and not knowing the original situation that caused the firefighter to go down, it can be difficult to tell where to begin. So we should approach our downed firefighter in an organized manner that's going to allow us to identify the biggest life threats and accomplish things in a systematic manner. Here we've located our downed firefighter, and I find him in whatever position it is that I find him. The first thing I need to do is get this firefighter in a position where I can access him. If he's under a table, I'm going to drag him out. If he has some things on top of him, if at all possible, I'm going to get him off of him. And the first thing I'm going to seek to do is get my firefighter into what we're going to call a rescue position, which is simply accomplished by getting him into an exaggerated sitting position, using a knee to support him, and allow him to come back into my hips a little bit. The reason I do this is because when we try to approach a downed firefighter from the front, we're kind of cross-brained. My left is his right, my right is his left, etc. And in a situation where you're already in a stressed-out situation rescuing one of your brother firefighters, it's very easy to get confused, and a simple task like locating the shutoff for the pass alarm or locating certain components that are going to interface with our RIT SCBA become very difficult. So in this position here, my left is his left, my right is his right, and all I have to do is be able to be oriented to where things are on me, and I should be able to locate them on him very easily. So once we have him in this position, the first thing I'm going to do, if it's activated, is shut off the pass alarm. Shutting off the pass alarm allows me to hear if there's another pass alarm going off nearby that might indicate a second downed firefighter, and also allows us to kind of calm down and be able to communicate with the team. Now typically, a RIT team is going to find a downed firefighter, and there's going to be 2 or 3 of us around. It's very easy to end up with too many cooks in the kitchen here, too many hands doing too many things, and we're actually getting in the way of each other rather than helping each other out. So while I'm doing this, our team should split apart to try to accomplish a couple different things. So if we have a team of 3 firefighters that's located our downed firefighter here, say I'm going to handle the packaging and assessment, my officer is going to go transmit an updated looter report to the incident commander, and our 3rd firefighter might search the area for alternate egress that might get us out of the situation a little bit easier. And now I'm in a position to assess it. We're going to use a mnemonic called ABCDMRA. The A is our first step, and it's going to stand for air, and that means we're going to assess our downed firefighter's air status. Within assessing his air, that's where our MRA is going to come into. When you talk to RIT rescuers about assessing a firefighter's air, often the first thing they want to do is take a look at what the gauge says. We need to remember that the gauge could tell us he has 1 million pounds of air in his cylinder. If he doesn't have a face piece on, that doesn't mean anything. So we're going to start at the face. So M is for mask. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to ditch my firefighter's helmet if at all possible, and I'm going to put my hand on his face. Putting my hand on his face is going to tell me 3 things. Does he have a face piece on? Is there a mask-mounted regulator connected to it? And can I feel and or hear the air movement of air being breathed in or out? If I have any problems, I'm going to immediately proceed to resolve them by putting a face piece on, replacing a missing mask-mounted regulator with the one from my RIT SCBA, etc. All right? So once I've identified that, I've accomplished my M and my R. If he has a face piece on and he has a regulator attached, then I can go to my A, which does he have air in the tank. The benefit of this rescue position is it also allows easy access to all the components. So if I want to read what his pressure is, I can do so here at the shoulder mounted gauge. I can push him forward into this exaggerated position and get down close with my light and look here at the bottleneck, and I can see what his air status is. If he's got a mask on, he's got a regulator attached to it, and there's air in the cylinder, and he's still not getting any air to his face, we have some type of mechanical failure of this SCBA that we're not going to resolve inside of the fire environment. In that scenario, I'd use my RIT SCBA, most likely some type of low-pressure hose type solution, and begin supplying this firefighter with air off of the RIT SCBA, bypassing the SCBA that he's wearing. I'll still leave that SCB on because then he'll have his pass alarm and it has use as a harness, but we're going to use our own RIT SCBA to supply him with air. So once we've assessed the air status and we make sure that our firefighter has air, we can move on to packaging the downed firefighter. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to allow him to come out of the rescue position and just down onto his side. Now, a firefighter wearing a bottle laying on his back is going to end up with one hip up or the other. And whatever hip is up, up. That's the one I'm going to start with as we move on to the B, which is going to be the belt in our steps. All right. So in this scenario here, we're going to do a maneuver that's very familiar to most firefighters, and that's securing the waist strap between the downed firefighter's legs. A couple tricks in doing that. The first thing we want to do is loosen this firefighter's waist strap. The last thing we want to do is undo this waist strap before we're ready to reconnect it. So with this hip facing up, I'm going to use that opportunity to loosen this here, and now I'll roll him over and get his other hip. An easy way to roll a firefighter, regardless of size, over is to use the leg on the downside of the hip. By bringing this leg out towards a 90-degree angle and using the ankle and the knee, I can very easily toss this firefighter's hips over without having to exert a lot of effort. Once that's done, I have my waist strap here. I'm going to loosen that on this side, take my leg up onto the shoulder, and only here am I going to release this waist strap, and in one swoop, bring it from one side to the other. A critical error that we've seen a lot of firefighters do is release that waist strap, drop one end, it gets underneath the firefighter, and now you spend 30 or 40 seconds trying to locate one end of that strap. That's going to avoid that. Our next step is C, with the chest. It's important that we do the belt before the chest, because when we go to tighten down these chest straps, that tends to hoist the SCBA up the downed firefighter's back. Depending on the size of the firefighter, that can significantly reduce the amount of available belt strap to make it between the legs, and it may mean that you might not have enough. All right? So once that's done, our belt strap is done. I'm going to take my chest strap and tighten it down. With these new style straps like this will very easily come undone in a drag if I don't secure it. So there's two methods I can use here to secure this strap. I'll do one on this shoulder and another one on the other shoulder. So here on this shoulder, I've tightened it down, and I'm going to just take my free end and run it right through this metal buckle. That's going to bite on itself and allow that shoulder not to come loose when I use it in a drag. So now I need to get to his other shoulder, same maneuver as we did before. Bring the down leg out and push his knee over. And now we have our other shoulder up. Get his arm out of the way. A second option for securing this strap is I'm going to take one hand, place it underneath the shoulder strap, and with my other hand, tighten it down on top of my own hand. What I'm doing there is now I can take this free end, place it between two fingers, and pull it through under his strap. I get a loop here, and I just pass the free end through the loop and tighten it down. The reason I tighten it on my hand is it's a lot easier to feed that strap into my fingers and pull it through than it is to try and fish that through a tightened down shoulder strap. So now we've packaged our firefighter. We're up to C, and D is, of course, one of the many drags and carries there are out there to move our downed firefighter. So in summary, the first thing we're looking to do is get our firefighter into the rescue position where all the parts are easily accessible, and the first thing we have to deal with is the air. Make sure they got a mask, make sure they got a regulator on it, make sure they got air to the tank. If all those things are met and you still have a problem, you have some type of catastrophic failure, and you resolve that problem with your RID SCBA. Handle the belt strap, making sure that you only release that belt buckle once you've fully extended both sides, have a leg up on your shoulder, and are ready to, in one fluid motion, go from belt to under the legs and rebuckled without losing either end. After that's done, we're going to tighten down our shoulder straps and secure them using one of the two methods and proceed to extricate our firefighter. Our other two team members by now have hopefully updated the incident commander as to what resources we need and what our plan is, and our third firefighter might have located some additional egress near us, and we're ready to remove our downed firefighter to the outside. Thanks for watching Fire Engineering Training Minutes, and thanks to our sponsor, Globe Turnout Gear.